Okay, so we've got the Estaba cocaine that we can use. Oh, I wanted to take a look. We have new applications, don't we? I guess I'll save them for like when I need them. Sophie's the only one I can hire right now anyways. Okay, boost the mentions. Zlatan Hubokan, director of the Center for Linguistics, says, "Sir, the media scene has been recently dominated by the stories about forest fires, floods, deadly epidemics, and other icky stuff. What's really bad here, though, is the fact that the word president has been missing from the news more and more often. If mentions of you keep dropping, soon you'll be forgotten like some stale meme. Maybe you know someone with strong communication skills and a knack for spreading rumors? Their job would be to call journalists all day, telling outrageous stories about you. No, this isn't embarrassing. Trust me, all presidents do it." Joe seems good at this. Okay. Now, Clint's got some stress, so. Surprise at Camp David. Your anniversary with Ellie is coming up. Tony wants to help you plan it. Tony's gone. Oh, no, this is Staba. I was thinking of the other guy that left. My bad. Help a tribe beat alcoholism. Save the Native Americans. Maybe Clint would be good at that. No. Jerry? Let's take a look at least. Surprise at Camp David. Tony says, "Hey man, it's tomorrow. Is tomorrow your and Ellie's anniversary? Last year you didn't celebrate because it was in the middle of the primaries. So you asked me to help you set things up this year. So I got everything ready and it's looking good. The party will be at the country residence, Camp David. Invitations have already been sent out. The catering is already taken care of. The plates and everything are from a rare collection. I'm sure both of you will love it. Of course, I kept everything secret from Ellie. Sometimes my training in conspiracy theory pays off. Weren't you working with the FBI? All we have to do is to figure out some excuse to bring Ellie to Camp David without giving away the surprise. What do you say, man? Think we can pull it off? Bring Ellie to Camp David residence. Give Ellie a first-class experience. Maybe Clint and Conrad could get something together? Buddy, I'm sure you know how to take care of your wife, and you don't need my advice. I'm just worried about the Secret Service. Don't forget that Ellie has a detail just like us. And you know the boys in black don't like surprises. We gotta coordinate with them somehow. What do you think we should do? Ask Ellie to help inventory the property. Lie to Ellie and tell her that I'm under house arrest at Camp David. Kidnap Ellie and take her to Camp David with a bag over her head. Take Ellie to Camp David as her driver. That's not bad. This isn't very secretive though. Like, this isn't gonna get her away from the Secret Service, right? Huh. This might get her to escape from her Secret Service. I gotta try this. Kidnap Ellie. No, Conrad's gonna get shot or something. Fuck it. I can't kidnap you. Pro, you know your woman is under heavily armed guard. I know you ain't asking me to kill a bunch of Secret Service agents. How am I gonna walk her out of there with a bag over her head? What am I, fucking Batman? I tried, but I didn't even get near the house. Now I've been cussed out at the police station. Look, you deal with your own family problems. Honey, were you looking for me? Did something happen? Ellie, do you remember how we met? Oh, darling, of course. We were waiting for the elevator together, but I had to go up and you had to go down. Do you remember what you said? I mumbled, actually, this elevator is supposed to go down. And then I poked my tongue and said, then I better get out. I mean, I don't remember what we said. I poked my tongue out and said that I better get out. I don't know. Yes! And that's when I realized you were absolutely fucking hysterical, and I fell in love with you on the spot. If I'm not mistaken, that was exactly 3 years ago. How about a romantic evening for our anniversary? Just you, me, and Tony, and a dozen other guests. We'll celebrate our anniversary tonight in style. Tony has made all the arrangements. That must have been the most romantic dinner invitation I've ever received. All right, I promise to have lots of fun and laughs. Laugh at all of Tony's jokes. You and I did a great job organizing everything, buddy. The anniversary went perfectly. We talked, we drank, we shot guns at the plates. It was a night I'll always remember. But listen, what about Ellie? She didn't look like she was having a good time. I went to all this trouble to find Victoria and Forks, but she just sat there all night with a sour look on her face. Why don't you go talk to her? Honey, when are we going back home to Washington? You don't seem to be enjoying the party. No, of course I am. Thank you. Everything was very nice. You and Tony are great, but I told you I don't like Camp David. Is it the mosquitoes? You could spray for the mosquitoes, but there's nothing that can save me from what's happening here. Okay, fine, I'll tell you. I read in the journal, Geopolit, that this used to be an ancient Indian cemetery. They're a respected parascientific publication, so don't just dismiss it. Alvaro told me his grandmother's house was on a similar site. Do you know what happened to her? One day she just disappeared, evaporated. Do you understand what I'm saying? The chakra analysts think there's terrible energy here, that there's evil everywhere. They could smell it in their bones. I could smell it now too. You probably think it's all a bunch of nonsense, but that doesn't make it any easier for me. I'm gonna go home, okay? I don't think you can do anything to help. I know what to do. What, rebuy the Native Americans? Check the property registry for any indication of native cemetery. Teach Ellie how to use a flamethrower in case of ghosts. She's gonna burn the fucking place down. Invite a properly certified shaman to the residence. Mr. President, I placed an order for a shaman over the internet, and some dressed up Latin American man came to the residence. He filled the rooms with smoke, then left. We all know your wife has a solid head on her shoulders. She smiled politely at his outfit, but then went off to collect her things. Well, man, I guess all our efforts were in vain. We're just no good at arranging surprises. Well, we could hang out with the wives. Let's get drunk like men. But remember to get Ellie some flowers, or she'll never talk to you again. Oh, hang without the wife, sorry. I was like, didn't she leave? Okay, well, that was an unmitigated disaster. This whole month has sucked, except for the like $2 million we got. I guess we should do something else, another really culturally insensitive thing. Bain Ashtek, chief of the Acoma tribe. Mr. President, my people simply can't catch a break despite the prohibition. My tribespeople, young men and women alike, are spiraling into alcoholism at an alarming pace. I have no idea how, but booze keeps making it here, even though we have checkpoints and run frequent inspections. I now suspect this firewater curse might be an inside job. The police of Acoma have been on the case for months to no avail. However, we would publicly admit our weakness if we allowed the feds to get involved in the reservation's internal issues. If only you could send someone skilled in investigation to help us without making the matter public. I would return your kindness by proclaiming you a friend of my people. The media are suckers for stories like that, right? Behind the scene negotiations, maybe? Connections, people in power. Persuasion, not really investigation though. I think Joe is the only one that's got investigation skills. Let's try Jerry. Okay. Flying along here. Could actually pay everyone this time. And our approval rating has gone up. 57.6. Money stabilizing. Stress is good. Into September. Balance at start. Okay, 1.5 million. Nice. We got 950. Mr. President, you're experts in an exquisite job. Here's a wire transfer to make America a better place as promised. That's good. That's paying off. Boost the mentions, plus 2.1%. Mr. President, thanks to Joe, everyone at Just DC and Left 4 Dead has been chewing over the president's escapades for days. They keep publishing stories of your sexual prowess in college, experience at the helm of a submarine, and whatnot. Your back is the biggest media darling, and I'm sure we can do that again anytime if needed. I don't think this is going to work out. Mr. President, Jerry had a wonderful time discovering the cultural heritage of my people, but he wasn't able to find the snake. Keeps giving alcohol to my tribespeople. You're still a long way from becoming our friend. Well, we didn't lose any benefits or lose any approval. Mr. President, our last dinner at Fat Joe's was a hoot. Could you maybe send a couple more experts who know how to hack into computers over Wi-Fi? Do we want more? Do we want more money? I think we'll be good for this month. Let's save our oh. Yeah. We can return to it next month if we need it. Mr. President, video games are going to be 3 times cheaper now, and the people are happy. Gold Gun Gaming Magazine even called you the young people's guide to the world of single-player shooters. Okay. It has to be said, I don't know if that makes any sense. It has to be said, some publishers now only sell the first chapter of their games in the US to require the players to purchase the rest of their digital stores. We can live with that. Holy shit, look at all these events. We're turning it around, baby. Thank you so much for letting LGBT matters back in the White House. We'll get the new website section chock full of petitions and acts in no time. Surely you must be getting tired of that by now. But I got a major kick out of the journalists being all nice and commending your most wise and appropriate decisions. Plus 0.2, plus 0.6. The sports committee says, Mr. President, thank you. The American athlete completed a 100-meter swimming course in just 44 seconds, beating the Chinese by a whole second. America is once again standing proudly at the top of the sports Olympus. Antonio, buddy, I've been thinking about rebranding myself for a while now, but yesterday's event became the final straw. So a little girl came up to me during a school meeting, looked me straight in the eye and said, "I have your autograph, Grandfather Tony." Out of the mouths of babes and all that. You can imagine how I feel. So I decided to have my ear pierced and cast off dead. Maybe 15 years. I even bought a fancy earring, the very height of fashion, but I'm a prudent man and will not wear it without your blessing. What do you say, old friend? Do it, Tony. Do it. Live your best life. Amy Pill, Vice President at Mothers Association of America. Mr. President, I'm appalled by what stories the parents read to the young people. The fairy tales are full of orphans, witchcraft, and dismemberment. Need I point out, the children of 4 years and younger are particularly impressionable and easily traumatized by scenes of violence. Yes, Cinderella is a timeless classic, but even classics have to comply with age limits. I have drafted a proposal. Snow White will be given a 7+ rating, and the Sweaty Tony story, what? It'll be rated 4+. What do you say, Mr. President? Shall we introduce a minimum age requirement for fairy tales to safeguard the mental well-being of all American children? No! Matthew Barsigian, founder of the Good and Trust charity. Mr. President, our fun merchandise is incredibly popular. The mugs with your face are flying off the shelves. Surprisingly enough, so do little magnets from the Mr. and Mrs. President Safari Limited Collection. Let me tell you why I'm here. How about we raise our merch prices by 10%? The business is booming and it's a small price to pay for reaching into the world of the powers that be. Yes. Rena Rotel, personal photographer. Sir, almost all of your photo shoots are, how should I put this? Way too cookie cutter and formal. The journalists have nothing to choose from when they want to pen a human interest story about you. I suggest we have a nighttime pajama photo shoot in your office. That's bizarre. We'll make 100 casual style photos and show the people that their president is working around the clock for the benefit of the nation. I estimate it will cost us about $15,000 and take no more than a few hours of your time. Sound good? Pajama photo shoot in your office? Okay. I trust your judgment. Thank you for the generosity, buddy. The jewel in my ear made me a better man. The smile became brighter and my eyes lit up. I could swear I was seeing a young man in the mirror. Except there was this daft chick of a blogger who called my earring a funny quirk caused by a severe midlife crisis. I'm sure I would be able to ditch my doubts if it weren't for her. The way things went, I had to ditch the earring instead. Good idea. Joanna says migrants from South America are gathering on the Mexican border. This is putting the president in a vulnerable position. Will he stand by his supporters or adapt with the times? Berta says, thus far, Senator Dickinson has refused to say whether she will vote for or against the president. However, it's normally considered a good sign when a veteran from the opposing party isn't giving a definite answer. Archie is back in the Tweeterverse. I should think the president is trembling like a leaf. His upcoming trial in the Senate must terrify him. I doubt he has the guts to show up. I bet he doesn't even have the stomach to watch it live. But that's all right. They'll inform him immediately on his removal from the White House. Ellie, darling, let me remind you that reclaiming your old assets is an excellent source of income. We're not exactly swimming in money due to numerous expenses, so don't hold back and invest to unfreezing our former fortune. Oh, get the actor, 7 million. The iconic actor only respects rich producers. You've got to have the wherewithal before he agrees to depict you in a movie. Your foundation may get a new recurring donor. We need new supporters. We're almost at 65%. Steady income, okay. Was there something I could sign? Oh. Oh, okay, I should do this. I could try to lobby. I think I'm gonna sign it now though, because it'll get us past 65%. Buddy, when we sign these measures to support local restaurant businesses, we'll be dealing a blow to the Chinese dragon. It'll take a long time to recover. If it ever does, we sign it, yeah. Buddy! We might not have decapitated the Chinese dragon, but we're gonna take his breath away. Chinese fast food is inferior and expensive compared with American food. I hear the doctors are worried that our society's obesity problems will only accelerate, but you gotta do what you gotta do to prove you're a geopolitical alpha male. Okay. Great statue. Nice. Promises. Still completed all of our promises. We have nothing new there. 75 to get Sasha on board. Okay. .com era. Let's start taking care of these tours. The courts are going to liquidate your company. Make sure the matter is resolved cleanly. Oh. You can't just let your old companies drift. Now that you're president, anything in your biography that the journalists don't already know about is a time bomb, waiting to explode in a scandal. Take a look at your old company, Browsey LLC. Judging by the reports, it developed an internet browser back in the .com era. The company has been bankrupt for a long time, but for some reason the courts couldn't liquidate it for years. It's as if it was waiting for the moment when you became president. Clint has gone over the reports and found lots of inconsistencies. What kinds of accountants did you have working for you? If the journalists get hold of these documents, they'll say that Browsey was a money laundering operation disguised as a .com. As I understand it, which it probably was, this browser is long gone. You liquidated all the company's holdings a long time ago. But maybe you have some old employees who still have a working version of Browsey? Programmers, analysts, anyone else who worked on it? Find a working version of Browsey internet browser. Keep track of what the press finds out about the company. Writing software, finding compromising evidence, using surveillance hardware, hacking people. Okay, let's go Will and Joe. Wait. Yeah. Joe's great. Joe's been one of our best people. What did this browser do that was special? Block online advertising? I heard from Clint that dealing with online advertising was one of your ideas for your first executive order. Wow, how many years have you had that idea? Okay, we better get to work on this. First, we need to figure out how to get our hands on a working version of this browser. Where are we going to dig it up? The file hosting services it was stored on must be long gone by now. The people who used it are still alive, of course, but human memory is too short to seriously rely on. So I'm thinking, if a working version of Browsey is almost impossible to find, then could we try to avoid this problem by making sure the press doesn't find out about your company? And whatever they do find out, you've got to make sure it can't hurt you. What do you want to do? Okay, Will can search Browsey on old backups, search for the Browsey browser on the darknet, rewrite the Browsey code from scratch. That seems not like a good idea. Joe, retroactively post an article about the Browsey browser in the online archive. Write a news article about the Browsey browser for Goldman magazine. Let's see if we can search on old backups. Boss, back in the days when the internet was slow, I kept backups of files on disks. One of my disks contains Browsey 0.2.0 alpha. This version has a ton of bugs, and the browser filtered out everything on the page except for ads. A truly awful job. What kind of programmer did you have on your team anyway? The build seems to work. We've got something to show the press. Oh, you found a working version of the program after all? To be honest, I'd begun to suspect that your company wasn't working on a browser at all, but something else. But now, there shouldn't be any problems. All that remains is to take the initiative and go public with our version of the events before the press learns about Browsey LLC at the court proceedings when the company is liquidated. Or you can try to bury the whole story so that no journalist ever gets to it. What will we do? All right, Joe. Talk about it on the social networks. Sir, I shared with my subscriber that according to sources within your administration, you developed many years ago a browser with a built-in ad blocker. If anyone knew that the source was you yourself, they would never have believed it. My colleagues picked up the story and wrote that your program was ahead of its time, but its day has passed, so nobody will give a damn about the Browsey court hearing. Okay. Why did you repeat yourself? I never expected you to come out of this story as a visionary hero of the future. Just think, you once had a disastrous .com company, which I consider a medal of honor. Back then, all the businessmen had them. And it's not your fault that the market turned into a bubble. Anyway, we can breathe a sigh of relief. Browsey LLC will be dissolved without any problems. My favorite thing. All right, let's see how little sense we can make. I earned my first dollar when I was 5 years old. That's when I decided never to give up. And that's all that's really important to know about my past. My future project will only be successful, I promise you. Support your local business with cash, not words. Something fishy down here. Best hashtag best president. Okay. That doesn't make any sense either. Oh, big ratings bump though. 68% we're up to. And we got money Mr. President's business acumen is a sight to behold. From the early days of his career, he proved that he was a man to watch. And the more about his career is revealed, the more proof we're getting. Berta Glover. Holy crap, we made a lot of money. Shimus Ridge, captain of the Delta Special Forces. Sir, the traditional way of dealing with terrorists are getting less effective day by day. One Mexican drug lord called Modesto is bankrolling a proper army, and it would take nothing short of a full-blown war to get him. Well, there might be one more option, namely putting a bounty on Modesto's head and hoping there are still some tough hombres out there who would like to claim it. Shall the hunting season begin? Sure. Bruce Kelly, Vanilla Golf Club director. What the hell? Mr. President, my exclusive golf club is on the brink of ruin. A few years ago, we decorated our course with the president's likeness. There was no shortage of clients. Who doesn't dream of putting a ball up Commander-in-Chief's nose? But the enthusiasm has faded because nobody cares about Face after he's gone. And we have a new leader, you. I have a business proposal. We put your portrait onto the green and send the royalties to your charity foundation. What do you say? Yes! Brilliant! It's time to recover the assets you lost so you can spend your richly deserved retirement in the lap of luxury. Ooh, you have unlocked the first asset and gained access to the next. Complete the entire chain of missions to ensure a cushy retirement. 2 million? This bit is underneath my camera. Recovered fortune. Okay. I have a camera on top of my monitor. It kind of blocks the middle of this top middle of the screen. Browsy LLC. Browsy was a .com era startup founded in 1999. It was best known for a revolutionary internet browser that automatically blocked all website advertising. The company effectively halted activity in 2002, but was only terminated in 2021 following a contentious bankruptcy proceeding. New York Coyotes. The New York Coyotes claimed their first and only World Series title under the president's leadership. Former star pitcher Mason Kayette inherited a majority stake in the club from the president, but the team hasn't been performing well over the past few years. It now runs the risk of losing its AAA affiliation. Offload your shares in the club while they're still worth something. Why wouldn't I just do this? Okay, it creates a new event. I may have been a bit hasty on that one. The former president sent you a mysterious package. Oh, this is what he was talking about. It's like some cult shit. Buddy, I got a package for you, says Tony. There's a notebook and a postcard inside. The postcard isn't anything special. Face laying in the sand, showing off his bare belly and holding up both hands with victory signs. On the back he wrote, "From the bottom of my heart to the best president of the United States." Judging by that and the return address, Grandpa is soaking in the rays on his beach outside Miami. Hey man, there's something interesting hiding on that computer. I'm sure of it, but there's a password. Maybe one of us can crack it? Well, they're the crackers. Oh man, I wish that old shithead sent us the password instead of a stupid postcard. Or left us one of his fingers in the envelope for the laptop's fingerprint sensor. But he wants to play games with us instead. We'll show him that in games like this, we have no equal. Right, buddy? Maybe we could find Face fingerprints somewhere, or get the password. Any ideas? Well, Will's not overly stressed out. Crack the password using a brute force search. Find Face fingerprints on the internet. Oh, use social engineering to get the password. So same options, just less stress, because Will's just better at his job. Let's try finding Face fingerprints on the internet. Mr. President, I've looked on the search engines for hours. I can tell you this, there are no publicly available fingerprints of the former president. Should we try something else? That makes sense. Social engineering? Chief, I tried the name of Face pets, lovers, parents, brothers, and sisters, but nothing worked. Can you try something else? Brute force? Mr. President, brute force decrypting a complex password is normally a fool's endeavor. Given a complex password, the operation takes between 5 to 15 years. But we were lucky. I had this one in under a minute. Password was very simple. 22. The laptop is ready for you. Why is it 22? Buddy, there are dozens of folders filled with names and every kind of dirt you can imagine. Now we've got the establishment by the balls. Why would Face send us this? There's a folder with your name on it. Some financial documents from your past businesses. Nothing sensational. The folder with Ellie has a really funny video of her singing a silly song in college. And in the Estaba folder, there's a video of some old guy. They must have made a mistake and copied the wrong file. Oh, buddy. I'm kind of tired now. I need to be done. I need to be alone, okay? Yeah, that used that will. Completely. I think it's worth the 0.3% drop to get the 1.5 mil. Mr. President, your face on the golf course is a real work of landscaping art. I forgot the voice I was using. I especially like the crook in the nose. Regardless of its factual likeness, the idiot buffoons from Shock's News actually tried to make fun of us both. But the people are having none of it. We're selling even more tickets than back when Face was in office. Sean Crispy says, the Drug Enforcement Agency administrator. Sir, MC Poe died earlier today. Some junkie shanked Poe and took his wallet right after the concert. Just imagine a piece of shit wasted the hip-hop legend because of a couple $100. Is this the one that wrote the our anthem? So refused to believe it. Here's what I thought. We should introduce benefits for drug addicts. If the dope fiends want to dope, let them. We're going to pay them money so they leave hip-hop stars and tax-paying citizens alone. I don't think this would be popular. But maybe it would. I don't know. No? That's a really weird decision. Let's just pay them. Maybe get them, like, you know, treatment? Darling, the director of Arlington Cemetery contacted me with a bizarre request. He said the best burial spots are about to run out, and he needs to know if he should reserve one for Mr. President alone or for the First Lady as well. By the way, Face claimed a spot for his ex, and they aren't even on talking terms. You will agree to be buried next to me no matter what, won't you? Yeah. You're so sweet, my dear President. I hope we aren't going to need these graves anytime soon. Huh. Betsy Bell, Secretary of Education, says, Mr. President, illiteracy is still prevalent in disadvantaged areas across the country. Not long ago, Lil Doc, the most popular rapper of the year, failed to read a letter from a female fan live on TV. Turns out he cannot read. I have a beautiful idea that will allow us to conserve federal budget spending and stimulate literacy at the same time. Simplicity is the essence of genius. You want to receive benefits? Then pass a general education test. How about you introduce this kind of requirement? No? I don't know. These decisions are so tough. Will says, Mr. President, all the never-ending assignments and hustle around here giving me high blood pressure and a bitch of a headache. Plus, I can't help noticing that I'm the only one around here working with due diligence. Everybody else keeps going on endless coffee breaks and setting new top scores in Candy Crush. I need a break from this gong show ASAP. Yeah, I'm going to send you on vacation, dude. Don't worry. A royal hunt. Prince Robert, heir apparent to the British throne. Mr. President, a few days ago, my delegation arrived on a business visit to Jamestown. We managed our affairs more quickly than expected, and in the free time, I decided to acquaint myself with the glorious traditions of American hunting. There's only one problem. My wife, Princess Anna, is a true lover of nature. Should she discover that I have even touched a duck, let alone shot one, why, she'd have me greeted by the hangman upon my return. And I do detest hangmen, Mr. President. But I've little doubt that we might arrange a hunt away from prying eyes. But I've Anna's 12-year-old brother in tow, and I can't leave him alone. He's always in need of attention. It's all well and good to pay him the attention he requires, but he's endlessly calling his sister sharing everything he's seen. I'm sure you know what it's like to be hounded at every step. Tell me, what shall we do with the little Duke while the men are at their games? Don't have time for a hunt. While we're hunting, we can let my wife watch after the young Duke. Ellie will know just what to do with him. Let's arrange a photo safari. It will be fine amusement for children and adults alike. What if they take pictures of us hunting, though? Ellie will take care of them. Thank you and your darling wife, who I'm sure did everything she could. Sadly, I could hardly enjoy the hunt, as the restless gentleman called me every few minutes, asking what I was doing and complaining that he found the walls of the White House stifling. I hope our little hunt did no harm to your reputation. The newspapers write that those animal rights banshees staged a protest in the center of Washington. That doesn't sound good. 3.5? No, I'm below 65%. Shit. The president has again been betrayed by his own people. Although we could do it's okay. We'll be back to 65 next month. Although his agenda included a clause on environmental protection, when a friend from across the ocean asked him for a favor, it turned out that the relationship with the royal family was more important to him than the will of the American people. I got nothing from that. Nothing.